Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Street Fighter Duel video. I think this is actually the first video of 2025, so Happy New Year. There's been nothing to make videos on. I'm not going to say that every single time. Like, what more is there to say? I mean, like, you can put out content on nothing, or you can put out content when there's content, and I've decided to just continue to keep just putting out content when there is content. So there is a few things today. We've obviously got the trial realm, which we're going to cover just now. I'll put out a video going over the first stage of how to get your copy of Cammy for free, and then I have some thoughts on Cammy. I don't normally do the review videos day one, but I'm going to do that for Cammy, and there's a reason for that, and we will get into that in its own video. It's not a negative reason, so don't be thinking, oh, he's going to be talking negative stuff. But yep, we're going to be jumping in, and we're going to be doing this right now. So, trial realm as usual. I've done a mixture here of doing manual and auto. I think, and actually, to be honest, I think I only done the first fight auto, from what I remember. I also, just for shits and giggles, decided to mix up the order of things so that we're not doing it in exactly the same rotation as always. I'm also noticing that the screen is a little bit off-ski, so let's just fix it a wee bit if we can. Let me put it about there. That's a bit stretched as well, isn't it? So, is it stretched? I don't even know if it's stretched, let's see. It was a totally wee bit stretched. It's not stretched anymore, so there you go. But yeah, this trial's not hard. I guess, like, the asshole side of me wants them to be hard, because then there's a reason for these videos to exist and people might actually go ahead and watch them. But I guess for most of the player base it's better that they're not hard. I still think it's not a good way to judge characters. I will say that. It's something that I've said from day one. It's not a good way to judge characters, because literally if you have got a team that can outspeed the other team, I think there's a strong chance that you'll win it. If you've got certain shields that can block attacks if you're not getting to go first, then you're probably going to win it. Historically, the only trials that have actually been difficult is when they give you awful choices for your teams, and I don't think that reflects very well on the unit that you're going to be summoning. So for that reason, I don't like saying whether or not someone's good or not, because a prime example of that is Balrog, right? Balrog, actually, Royal Balrog, or is that his name, Royal Balrog? I think it's Royal Balrog, World Champion Balrog, the latest Balrog. I don't think he looked fantastic in his trial, but he is a unit that can work quite well. Don't get me wrong, you need to kind of get investment into the guy. There's a certain way that you run him. You kind of want to build up his key thing. What's it called? Emperor? Boxer Emperor or something? I don't even know. Grand Champion? Whatever. When you do his C1, you want to do that a couple of times, and then once you've done that a couple of times, you can really start unloading some big damage. He's a character that later on, he's going to do a lot, which means he's good for bossing, right? I suspect that's similar for Cammy, right? I do think that Cammy is going to be a unit that she's probably going to see some use in things like bossing, because the way her kit is constructed as well, and it kind of plays into how we do bossing. All you guys know that when you're doing bossing, you're not really going for it, to be honest, right? The whole thing isn't structured around about you just going for it and trying to get your best score. It's about stacking your super combo meter and then unleashing multiple super combos in a very short period of time. Now, when you've got a character who kind of builds up, who needs to stack something, that format works very well, because okay, maybe the first 2 turns you're not going to get as much damage, but by the time you're doing your 3rd, 4th and 5th turn, you've built up the stacks that the unit needs to build up, and then at that point you would like to see some big damage coming from them. So because Cammy isn't reliant on things like hitting multiple units or anything, she's just really going to do a lot more damage when she's got stacks of her thing. She is someone who I can see doing pretty well in bossing. She's also someone who I can see doing pretty well in PvP, because, I mean, it depends, right? She is missing certain key elements, but she's fast. And fast units, like naturally fast units, before you've even really invested into them, they can really serve you pretty well when it comes to things like PvP. So there's a potential, I think, there that we could maybe see Cammy doing pretty well in PvP as well, but I don't necessarily know if she's going to be like game breaking for PvP, only because she doesn't have ignore damage immunity. She does have the whole do not die thing, like not do not die, but is it do not die? I think she might actually have the whole don't drop below whatever HP. She's got something, she's got like death and vulnerability. I don't know if it's the do not drop below or if it is just when taking fatal damage. It's one of the two. I need to look at her again, which I will do in a standalone video. But I've got a feeling that maybe there might be a comp out there for her, so maybe we'll see her popping up in PvP. But my gut feeling just now is she's probably going to be decent for bossing. But we'll, again, not really going into that too much just now, because this is less of a analysis on is Cammy a good unit or not, and it's more just me doing my usual and trying to find things to talk about while I am going over pre-recorded footage that I did of the trial realm, which I've always done, so happy days. Fix this. Hey, I would have put this video out earlier. Normally you guys will know I used to, I say used to because it's kind of true, I used to prioritise putting these things out first thing in the morning, as soon as possible, but I'll be honest, I was just too tired this morning. I wanted to go back to sleep. I thought, what do I do? Do I sit at my PC and record a video and edit a video, or do I go back to sleep for an hour? And I chose that one. And then I've sat watching videos on YouTube rather than actually doing anything. I would say productive. Is this productive? I don't know. Strictly speaking, you could say this is productive, so either way, this is the outcome. Video now. None of you care. None of you actually care. Yeah, so there you go. This one and the next one. This is really not a hard trial. Again, you're going to think coming away from this that Cammy's a boss, because I know a lot of you, despite knowing you shouldn't judge a unit via the trial, I know a lot of you actually do. So yes, maybe we'll see what you guys think, right? So obviously that's, you've got all your rewards, you've got everything in the bag, you've got your tickets. If you want to know what I think about Cammy, watch the standalone video that I'm putting out. I'm going to go over her kit, I'm going to go over my thoughts about her as a unit, and I'm going to go over what I think you should be doing with regards to if you should summon or if you shouldn't summon for this unit, okay? And it's going to be interesting, put it that way, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, what can I say apart from g'day mate, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace, see you later, goodbye.